When you finish writing Welcome Home, do you have a moment as a band of just like, we've done it?
We did.
Well, here, check this out. I wrote Welcome Home, and I was still living in my parents' house at this time. So I wrote it.
That'll get you out of there.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm in the kitchen that I'm in my boxers. I got an acoustic guitar, and it's a small kitchen area. And I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm creating that riff. And I finish the song and get the kind of melody, and I'm like, holy shit, this song is the shit. Like, I have this feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
And my mother comes down, she's like, what the fuck? And she's like ready to do laundry. And then she's like,
Mom, listen.
This guy's what is wrong with this kid?
Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How you doing, Bo?
I'm doing great. Where are we?
We are currently on the SS Neverender in Cozumel, Mexico, and it's a big day.
It's a big day.
Massive day. We've got an unbelievable guest on the show today. This is decades in the making for me. Very exciting. I've been a Coheed guy for a long time, and it's our honor to be joined by vocalist and guitarist Claudio. Dear Claudio O. of Coheed Cambria. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
Unbelievable. Was it at all inspired by the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith being called Will Smith, that the Amory Wars protagonist is called Claudio?
What? Oh, because Will is the main character.
Genius.
It is genius. Explain.
There's no Kramer in him. There's no Costanza. He's Will Smith.
No Harry Potter.
Right.
So Claudio, that's you doing all that shit.
Right. You know, for me, I think it was an accident. Right. So when I started writing Second Stage, when I was writing Second Stage, I was a kid. You know, so it wasn't like I'm writing records. You know. But at the time, I did have this idea that I was going to take my life and I was going to put it into a concept. But I didn't know entirely how to execute that, what the details of that were going to be. I mean, some of those songs, like Delirium Trigger, for example, is almost a song about the Alien movies. You know, things like that. But you know what I mean. But I was I didn't really understand what the translation of the things that I was experiencing in my life would actually look like when it came time to the comics. And when I wrote Everything Evil, I threw my name in there, not realizing that that's a name. Like, who is that going to be? That has to be someone. I mean, it's so specific. And so then, I wish I could have been like George Lucas and named the character Luke. You know what I mean? I mean, you think about it, right? Like, that's George Lucas put himself in there, but instead I accidentally sing my name loud and clear in that song. So
and here we are. When did music begin for you?
Music has always been in my life because of my dad. My dad is a huge music person, like just in terms of listening as a fan.
We can both relate to that.
Yeah, like, dude, he listened to everything. I mean, he played music, played a little guitar, but not like Travis's father or Josh's dad. Like, these were like music men that
generational rippers.
Holy shit. Yeah, right. And but my dad played a little bit, but he wasn't gigging. But he listened to music and all the time.
What was playing?
We got Sting, Hendrix. He would listen to Latin music, artists I don't even know. Bella Fleck and the Flecktones, jazz guys, again, just things that were always in my
So you're sponging all this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing is, as a kid, I would latch on to certain acts, certain artists, but for the most part, it was just I would take things from the stuff that was just playing around me, but yeah, he listened to so much stuff and still does. He is an interesting cat. But then my mother on the other side, she was listening to the 80s pop, contemporary stuff I was growing up to that he wasn't listening to. So I was,
this is all in the DNA.
Yeah, all of it.
Very cool.
So
What about the guitar?
so the guitar starts. So in middle school, it's funny. This is and if you guys know this, I'm so sorry that I'm being redundant, but this is kind of a long story, right? So
By all means.
So I get into middle school, and at this time, I'm starting to develop my own personality with music, and at that time it's rock music. It's like contemporary, like glam bands or Guns N' Roses, right? Cool. That's the stuff that's on the television that's like appealing to me. Honestly, the first time was like I went fishing with a friend of mine, and his older brother was across the lake listening to Talk Dirty to Me over and over again.
Cool.
Banger.
Yeah, but you know, but like over and over again, and like at that time, I didn't have a musical identity. I wasn't fishing for music of my own. I was just getting what was coming.
You were just
from my
you were
folks.
fishing for fish at that time.
Right, exactly.
Music unintended. Yeah.
But so I go home, and now I'm like discovering that era of music, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, that sort of stuff. And so I get into middle school, and I'm wearing a Def Leppard Hysteria shirt, and my friend Patrick, who's still a friend of mine, he's actually on the boat.
Fuck yeah.
Beautiful.
He's wearing a Cinderella back patch, and so we became friends. Like, you know, the middle school was, we met there, and so one day he asks me, he's like, hey, do you want to start a band? And I didn't play an instrument. He was going to be the singer. Had a lot of charisma. So I say charisma, like that's what I was thinking in middle school. I don't think that
Like
word
this
is in my
guy is so
vocabulary.
charismatic.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I have to be in my charismatic friend's band, no matter what.
But so we did, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play the drums. It seems like the easiest thing. So
And they are the easiest. 100%. Drums are the easiest.
yeah, no, right.
Your life would be so much easier.
But I'm like, but that's just my thinking. I'm like, I can hit things, whatever. Like, I'm not thinking about the nuance of the instrument. I'm thinking,
Of course.
What's the easiest thing and the fastest thing that I might be able to learn to participate in this thing that my friend wants to do. And so I say the drums. I don't have drums. I get a pair of drumsticks. I'm hitting a pillow, literally. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, probably every
Chop.
Yeah.
Getting those chops.
And so we're like, okay, well, we're going to try to find a guitar player. And so we flyer the town looking for a guitar player.
What town is this?
This is, we lived in Nyack, New York. So just outside the city, a commuter town. 40 minutes.
It's like a Don Draper type, where he lived type.
I don't even know who Don Draper is.
Mad Men.
Oh, okay. My wife's watched that show.
She'll know what I'm talking
It's like a commuter town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Just like where Don Draper lives. That's
yeah, it's like nice. It's an art. Like Nyack was pretty cool because it was like a very artsy kind of community.
Okay. Cool.
But we flyer the town, and we get a call. Guy comes over. Now we don't have a rehearsal spot. We're in my friend's bedroom, which is tiny, and my man comes in with his amp, his small pedal board and guitar, and he shreds all over the place.
That's pretty
We're
advanced for that time.
Board.
Like for middle school
board is
too.
great.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't in middle school. I think he was just getting into high school, and he was like, he saw right through us.
Yeah.
Like he got in there, he started to play.
You guys suck. Watch this.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm outta here.
But he didn't say it like that to us directly.
Right.
He's just like, he's ripping, and I noticed this one thing on top of his amp, and it's Rush's Permanent Waves. And I don't know who Rush is, but I remember maybe it's not Permanent Waves. It's the one with the 50s aesthetic of the woman in like a...
So it's not 2112.
It's not. But I remember it like I'm in the moment right now looking down at the amplifier, because this is a big moment for me. So anyway, I'm fooling around, and this guy's ripping, and we're both so enthusiastic, like my friend Pat and I, and we're like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And so he's like, listen, if I'm going to join your band, we have to play Rush covers. And I don't know who Rush is.
Whoa.
And I'm going to be the drummer. Right? So I'm like, yeah, of course we can play Rush covers. I have no idea who Rush is. So anyway, I agree to this. He leaves. And that night, some random person calls my friend Patrick, telling him that he'll nameless. We'll call him nameless. Thinks we're nothing but a bunch of dreamers. Nothing will happen for us. Forget it. like he's not going to join.
Nameless.
Right. Yeah.
He shall remain nameless.
And
For
dude,
real.
so I go into, my dad had an acoustic that he bought for my brother, and I was like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I'll play the guitar.
Yeah.
and I'll, and that was it. And it's funny because, like, Rush, I never was a fan of them growing up because of this moment.
Sure.
And then funny enough, like, Coheed becomes who Coheed is, and that's the one band we get.
So do you get into Rush real deep after that?
Well, like after a while, like I because we got it so frequently that it was like I need to like just break down the wall and listen.
Yeah.
And
I also know what not to do, kind of.
No,
right? Totally.
Yeah. But I also I kind of appreciated Rush. I found some records that I liked of theirs, and I also feel this like connection of oddity with them.
Yeah, big time.
Like
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I do.
it's like I get it because I think of like all they have accomplished and how. They're huge. I mean, right now they're doing their thing, kind of coming back, and like it's selling out, and like, but there's this like thing, like, they remained on, at least from where I'm standing, on the outside of this rock thing that was happening in the 70s.
Yeah.
And yet they just paved their own
Stayed
path.
the course, yeah.
And so I aspire to follow in that with Coheed.
So you're telling me that the first domino of drumming on a pillow to being on a ship is spite?
Yeah. Right.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, man.
Pretty cool. That something I've always wondered, because there's so many things are happening in Coheed at once. I've wanted to talk to you about extreme music for so long, because I hear everything in Coheed. Is this something you like? Are you a big punk guy? Are you a hardcore guy? Are you a death metal guy in there?
I mean, I think I'm just a music guy.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely had my moments with punk music. I've definitely had moments with death metal. I just am open.
Yeah. I walked in here and you were like, "Oh, into another shirt."
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me.
Oh, right on.
Anybody knowing what that is cool.
And being from New York.
Yeah.
Right, I just want to make sure I was on the right side of the state line.
Yeah.
Being from where you're from, you're kind of, and especially at the time that you're talking about, you're kind of in an epicenter of the punk and metal and hardcore. Did you ever identify with any of those scenes as you were getting into music in your journey?
I didn't really know what scenes were until I started playing in a band.
Okay.
And even then, because I wasn't the front man, I wasn't focused on that. Like, I was just there to play and get that, that gratification from that. And then everything else really didn't matter. I wasn't really the identity of the band.
Sure,
if
understood.
that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so, that was it. I think it wasn't until the band before Coheed where I actually became the person fronting it and started to get the ridicule for the way I sang, made me understand what scenes were, what the lines were. I understood as a fan, like, what hardcore was, what punk was, what grunge was. I understood those sorts of things, but like, but I also feel like the era that I grew up in, like, when you think of like Lollapalooza and the collection of bands that would like play that sort of thing, the lines never felt as defined to me.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
Which we believe in.
Yeah, no,
we don't like rigidity.
Right,
That's
right.
not something that we're trying to even.
Yeah, and I think those lines are more blurred than ever.
Than ever.
Yeah,
I know,
absolutely.
which
Look at
makes
this
us-
cruise. What the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
So that band, are you talking about Beautiful Loser?
Shabutie, Beautiful Loser. Yeah,
Okay.
that era of time, yeah.
Beautiful
What
Loser.
era of time is this?
This is the 90s.
Okay.
Where, like, I'm still kind of in high school, probably 94, 95.
Okay. Gotcha.
94
in New York is a good year.
Good year. Right before Master Killer, etc.
Good time.
Set it off.
Set it off, yeah.
There's the voice.
Right.
Does that just happen?
Yeah, it took a lot of time to become what it is, but like my initial like when it comes out, it's like that. It's high, but back then it had no like structure or form. It was just
who were you doing?
Who was I doing?
Because interesting that you didn't know who Rush was.
Right.
Assuming you're singing Happy Birthday at parties,
right?
In your voice, to be doing that voice, it's funny because that's another comparison I'm sure you get. Who are you doing is one of our questions.
That's a recurring question.
I think for me, Michael Jackson.
Fuck yeah.
But like, that's who that's like the singer that, when I was a kid and Beat It came on, MTV, it was like, oh, this is dangerous.
Banging.
You know what I mean? Like,
they're knife fighting out there.
Yeah, I know. As my dad like laughs at that moment and he's like, that ain't that. Like,
you tell him Scorsese directed that, and then there's nothing to laugh at. Yeah, the bad video. Yeah. Come on, man.
But there was also this band around the Nyack area. I think they were from Connecticut. They were called Pumpernickel.
Okay.
And the fellow that was in that band also had a side project called Junebug, and I would get the tapes, and I liked it a lot because he sang in an ultra high voice.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I discovered Josh's brother's band 3 when Josh actually played in him, and Joey had like way more of a nuanced control to his voice, almost more in like a Stevie Wonder kind of thing.
Oh,
and that was a little like inspiring.
Saw him play the other night. Right?
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
You ever hear Nitro?
Dude,
the like glam band, hair metal band.
You
know about Nitro?
My mother-in-law dated Michelangelo.
No shit. Do you know what Michelangelo is?
No.
The devil from Shock 'Em Dead.
Oh, really?
Quad guitar. Quad guitar guy who can just do alta ambidextrous, no problem.
You gotta get on quad, man.
No.
2 ain't enough.
So Nitro had a singer, small deviation from the conversation, but he could break glass, like on video.
Oh.
Night Train is the song.
Now we're talking.
Dope band. Very sick.
But he also was the devil in Shock 'Em Dead. You ever see that movie?
No.
He guy's into horror movies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so he's the dude that when Martin goes to hell to like sell his soul, he's the dude doing that.
Dude
That's Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's unbelievable.
We used to watch that movie all the time, my friend Pat and I. And then when my wife told me that she's like, my mom went to the Dean party at the guitar factory, and she started talking to this guy Michelangelo. I was like, whoa, you mean the devil from Shock 'Em Dead? I was like, are you kidding me? It's pretty wild.
That's awesome.
All right.
So Shabutie, let's talk about this. Do you consider this canon to the Coheed universe and discography?
No, I definitely think of it as the roots though, because when I was this is the beginning of me as a songwriter, putting out more songs than than just kind of writing the riff and being a part of I'm the intention changes. Yeah. And at the time, I'm still having this struggle of putting myself in the song, so I'm creating these narratives to kind of put my story behind. I mean, not there's a lot of people listening to this thing. We're playing youth centers and small.
Yeah.
spots,
what is touring like for you in the Shabutie world?
It's community centers. Pretty much. It's up and down the thruway between Woodstock, New York, and Nyack.
And whoever has access to a van,
right,
kind of thing.
Yeah,
totally. So not like The Hobbit to Lord of the Rings, but not totally dissimilar to The Hobbit.
Right. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Hobbit.
Got it.
Coheed, Lord of the Rings.
Shire booty.
Yeah, exactly. So how does Coheed come to fruition then?
So I took a trip to Paris in 1998 to visit a friend of mine who was doing a semester abroad, a whole year abroad. So I went there for about a year. And when I was there, and I came out of the subway, and I noticed the aesthetic of the architecture, the fonts. I'm like, oh my God, this is I'm on another planet, because I'd never been anywhere outside of New York. I mean, New Jersey was foreign to me. You know what I mean? So
it's foreign to us still.
Yeah. So that's where I started conceptualizing this idea of like, all right, well, I've been writing these songs and they're all sort of disconnected. Maybe I should create characters that I can like use as I can take my life and motivate those characters, as opposed to just being like random. Like Shabutie, for example, had a song called "No More Bunnies" that was like, if I remember correctly, it was like a war between this like bunny colony and like turtles. It was like it was something like that. It was like something like so like it just didn't have like the identity.
You can dig deeper and find like World War I in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's
right.
in there.
Again, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
But for me, I was like, I'm gonna take, I'm gonna do this thing, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna use my relationship with this person that I'm visiting as like the nucleus to this story, and this landscape that I'm in that's so foreign to me, and I'm gonna use that as the basis to hide my life behind.
Okay.
I'm gonna create characters that are gonna loosely be based after us, and initially like the idea of like Coheed and Cambria were the two of us,
right.
But like and there was a bag shop across the street called the Bag Online, and I took that, and that was the original Coheed comics. There was two of them. It was like the Bag Online Adventures of Coheed and Cambria. But as I started writing the songs, and Time Consumer and June Song were the two songs that I wrote like out there in Paris.
Awesome.
I started to, I took them home, and I started to realize that, a lot of this isn't about me and my love interest. It's really more of a story about family, like sort of mimicking the things that like my dad was sort of going through. And I almost sort of saw them as the heroes, my parents, and I then become a different character in the story. So it was, the concept was birthed in Europe, but it really kind of found its identity at my home, Amory Drive.
Wow.
That is so... How old were you when you were in Paris? 98, you said?
98, so I was just out of high school like 18.
That's so ambitious.
Yeah.
Had you been a writer, like a actual like story writer in any form?
Not really, no. I just wrote songs. I loved big scope stories like clearly Star Wars or anything like that. But I don't think I was ever really an aspiring like writer, like an
author.
These are just lyrics to you that become something else.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty much. Yeah.
Very cool. So Second Stage Turbine Blade,
Right.
debut LP, landmark, Equal Vision Records, founded by Ray Cappo from Youth of Today. Another connection. See? So many genres blended together, but so much of the DNA of Coheed is like immediately there. Take me back to making this record.
Okay. So this record is a series of demos.
Yep.
Right. And the Delirium Trigger EP.
Yeah.
Right.
So those songs already existed. Nate played drums on them. Nate from Shabutie. Delirium and 33 were already kind of living in the world. I was writing a bunch of stuff, and as a band, we were putting things together. Initially, again, it was us doing a series of demos to try to get a deal with Equal Vision. Of course.
So you were working for a deal from Equal Vision?
Yeah. I mean, like, or
somebody.
Or somebody.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
But I think at this time, they were like, they wanted to hear material.
Yeah.
We were putting it together. And when it was done, they were like, well, you got a record. And we were like, oh, that's how it works? I mean, I think we were so green,
Sure.
Yeah. But for me, like, I was becoming a lyricist that was going to actually put together a real record. So a lot of, like, my life in there is very confusing. Because again, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tell my story without like giving away too many details. Second Stage Turbine Blade is the thing that my dad worked on at a blue collar factory in Cozumel, New York. He welded second stage turbine blades for airplanes.
Okay. Wow.
So my dad was a recovering heroin addict, and at that time was still using. So the Dragonfly. When Bill Scoville sent me the Dragonfly as like a potential image, I was like, oh, that reminds me of a syringe. That is perfect.
Wow.
For this.
And you never could have imagined that dragonfly would get tattooed on just
1 billion people.
a billion people on the planet.
I know, it's
With that
wild.
symbolism in the back.
I know, right?
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like, so I'm trying to tell my story. Like we were saying, my dad was listened to a lot of music. Some people might call my mother an enabler because of his situation, but to me, they were very heroic. They tried to keep this situation out of our lives as children, so for me, it's like I didn't want to put my story out there for people to judge.
Sure.
I didn't want like
plainly.
What's that?
Plainly.
Yeah. I didn't want like, that guy came from a broken home, because that's not the truth. I mean, I think there's definitely something broken there, but like, being an adult now and a parent, I'm glad I did it the way I did, because everyone's got their shit and things are hard. This being a parent isn't easy, and like, so for me, it's like I never wanted to villainize them.
Sure.
I didn't want that sort of sympathy to come my way. So that's why I sort of curated the things the way I did, and and made that record so confusing, because again, I was trying to get my legs as to like, how do I?
It's sci-fi concept, but you're also talking about driving to New Jersey.
Right. Yeah.
So
totally.
that I would always try to wrap my around like, what is this New Jersey in this story? Is this real? Like, what's he talking about?
And it takes place. there is like moments of that, but like that New Jersey is like me going there to visit a friend, seeing a red door that had 666 on it, and also like, when Patrick Ewing busted his, that's 33. So 33 is Patrick Ewing breaking his Achilles tendon.
Wow, yeah.
Busting his Achilles. So it's like things like that. It's like taking these things that might be completely random and like trying to find a way that meant something to me, and like finding a way to paint that into a piece of fiction.
How collaborative is the writing for this record? I know the concept is coming from your brain, but like, you have to explain it to Travis and Josh at the time. Do they, to this day, are they like, just fucking just tell us the lyrics, I don't care what they mean, teach me what to sing?
Yeah, well, at that time, it was like such an infant idea. Like, they knew when, because when we signed to Equal Vision, we were still Shabutie.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that name. And neither did we, honestly, because it leaned more towards like a funk band or something like that, totally. And I had made these shirts for Coheed Cambria. Coheed Cambria was actually, when I wrote Time Consumer and June Song, I was really thinking about like what it would be like to do a side project. I mean, we didn't even have a band yet, but I was thinking about like, what can I do? How can I take programmed music? I had like a MC303 groove box, and I was like, how do I take this and glue it to acoustic instrumentation? And that was the initial idea for Coheed Cambria. Like, that was the name. And then when the band got signed to Equal Vision, we started to like, they didn't like the name, so we started picking other names. And one of them was Leader One, right? Okay. Another was Paris in Flames.
Okay.
And like none of them really gelled with me. And I had this shirt for this like kind of idea, this side project thing. It was like Coheed Cambria with the silhouette of Optimus Prime, and it was a bright yellow shirt. And and like, it was like a silk screen that I like just ironed on.
And where did the names Coheed and Cambria come from?
Okay, so Coheed, when I was in Paris, sorry if I'm all over
no,
this.
No, no.
My memory is really bad. There's a lot of shit, so
we're gonna get it all.
Jumping around like crazy.
That's good.
So Coheed was so in Paris when I was hanging out with my friend Nikki. She was sketching. She would sketch these like little characters, and the character she had sketched was Coheed. Instead of the H, it was B. And like
big Kobe head.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Was that a thing? What's a Kobe head?
Kobe Bryant fan.
Oh no! No, it was like it was like this little angelic character, but I loved the name, and for me, in my imagination, Coheed was like space code name. Space, cool. And like so I'm like, Coheed isn't. Like, I adopted the name. I was like, if it just had like it just needs this one letter to make it feel like masculine, make it feel like
yeah,
and like right, yeah, he's heating whatever, and And so that was Coheed. And then Cambria was a name. I was hanging out at a party in Woodstock, New York, and I met this girl named Cambria, and I loved her name. I thought it was like the first time I'd ever heard it.
Yeah.
And it just always stuck with me.
Does she know, do you think?
Oh yeah, I think so,
cool.
yeah. And I was like, you know, when I started to piece together who these characters were going to be, when I had Coheed, you know, I was thinking in that world of like, you know, like Stan Lee, I guess, somewhere in my back, you know, Peter Parker, you know, sharing like the
alliteration.
Yeah. And
it's good shit.
Yeah. And then I was like, that Cambria name just stuck. And I was like, Coheed and Cambria. Those are the characters.
It's original.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So right away, album 1, your right and left hands are doing just as much work as your voice.
Right.
What have you done? Do you think while writing, like, oh man, I really fucked myself here?
Yeah,
now I have to
sometimes.
do this forever.
Painted into
Sometimes.
a corner.
Are there parts that you write or that Travis writes where you start writing vocals and you're like, this isn't just not happening? Or do you find a solution?
I try to find a solution because I'm a guitar player first.
Okay.
And so when like that becomes, that's the first thing. Usually instrumentation is what happens before lyrics. That will, like writing something will inform a melody, and then the melody will then inform the lyric. Of course, like whatever idea I might be experiencing will help also influence that. But for the most part, it's instrumentation. And at that time, it was guitar. I didn't have anything else aside from that, like 303.
So is this, are you just doing writing songs entirely and then figuring out vocals later?
Pretty much. But at the time, I also had a cassette 4-track.
Okay, cool.
So that
you
was,
could demo yourself.
Yeah, and I would use that to, that actually, I think was like the thing that taught me how to write songs. Because, you know, I'd get to a part and maybe not be able to figure out how to get into the next thing, and so I'd have to sit there and try to punch it in. Because I didn't even have the pedal. I'd have to like, it was a Fostex X28H. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but it's like, but yeah, so I'd have to like, you know, the punches were awful, but like they were enough for me to hear it. Yeah, you know, but yeah, so I would do things like that. But I mean, I like I said, I'm a guitar player first, like, and I mean that just like that was the instrument that I took on first, and I want to respect that.
Coheed is certified guitar music. So
well, right on.
You know, it is what it is. So Second Stage is your first album of 11. You still play songs from this record. I think any band with 11 records that is still playing debut record to fanfare means you did a pretty good damn job. I saw you at the Greek recently. Everything Evil was in the set.
Oh, random.
The melody. That was the first time, the melody that happens in the end with the little piano that recurs through the entire Coheed discography. What does that melody mean to you? Where did it come from? Is there like a lore aspect behind it to when we're hearing it in specific songs?
You know, it's, yes. I mean, it's always like a reoccurring thing, but like, it's funny, we were in the studio and Josh and I, and he started playing it, and I was like, that is the
Josh
theme.
wrote that?
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh yeah. I was like, that is the theme. Wow. And so, and so like, I remember just being so excited. And then it was like that it has to reoccur. Yeah, and it does. You know, like even like we played the Broken last night, the guitar solo. Like a broken guitar solo. It was like, it's always there. It's, you know, it's
one of our favorite things.
Recurring stuff.
The bolt thrower.
I love the bolt thrower motif. Come on. It's just like the bolt thrower motif. So let's see. Is the rest of the band contributing creatively to the narrative ever?
Not really. I mean, every once in a while, like last record, Travis threw out an idea. He just threw out the name Shadow Lifters. And I was like...
Yeah, I like that.
I was like, that could be something. Like, but like, it was just like a word, you know. It's tough, like the concept... When I brought the concept up back then, Second Stage, I mean, it was like, no one really thought this was going to be a thing.
Inside the band? Or outside?
Yeah.
Both.
I mean, you know, I mean, that's definitely something I wanted to do. Because I needed to do it. If I was going to express myself honestly in the songs, I was going to need this disguise 100%. To hide behind.
Interesting.
What's great, you know? So I've been a fan of the band for almost 25 years. I rarely know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to do this, to figure out what you're talking about. Honestly, it's really fun. This record brought so many walks of life together. Like hardcore kids loved it, the emo kids loved it, which got you lumped into emo world for a while.
Definitely.
The pop punk people loved it. The prog heads start to notice what you're doing. Were you conscious of that at the time, of just seeing the different kind of walks of life that were starting to go to your shows?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I want that for sure. I just, when we actually started touring,
Yeah.
it was just such a shock to me that people were even coming, that I don't think I even recognized who
was who.
was who.
what
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
was.
It was just like, oh wow, you're gonna let us sleep at your house?
Yeah.
That's fucking
Huge.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
First tour was with Thursday?
The first tour we ever did was with Breaking Pangea,
Okay.
Fred Mascherino's band.
I'm not familiar. I know Pangea.
He played. He plays
It's
guitar in Taking Back Sunday.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
You're right.
Cool.
The singer, he can sing his ass off.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And so he, so his first band, I don't know if it's his first band, but they took us out. That was our first tour, you know, and that Thursday ended up taking us out.
Jeff told a story on stage last night about your gear being so bad on
Yeah.
that tour that they just gave you all theirs to use.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
to use.
Like to use,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Do you remember what you brought out?
Yes. It was it was like a solid state. Both Travis and I had these like matching Fender solid state like cabs and heads. If I remember correctly, if this is the gear that they're talking about, maybe this gear is good to them now. I don't know, but
I think they're still Marshall guys. So
yeah. So you know, that was that. I had this big muff that I had in high school that I used a bunch, and I started to bleed on it. Like
Whoa.
I think in the Pangea run, and it was a nice like 70s era muff. I
Yeah.
still have it. We cloned it not too long ago,
Cool.
but I put it aside because I was like, you know what, like I don't want this thing to get damaged because you know we're traveling in the van, whatever. So we ended up rocking like metal zones. Right, metal zones are all right.
Dude,
They
yeah,
did
dude.
not like the
It's
metal
Old
zones.
Faithful.
Yeah, they did not like the metal zones.
That is Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
All the 80s.
Yeah, straight up.
There's a folklore urban legend that one of the first shows, if not the first show, as Coheed Cambria, was with Bulldoze from New York.
Oh, yes, we did play with Bulldoze. We did.
How'd that go?
There was a fight.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
during Coheed or during Bulldoze?
It was after the show.
Okay.
There was a situation that had like accidentally happened.
Sure.
And like
Beef, maybe.
knives were pulled.
Oh,
and
dear.
A fight was happening, and it was wild.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it was scary.
Yeah.
Josh got in a car and at the time didn't drive and like backed up into another car.
Oh,
It was nuts, man. I don't know how much detail I should get into
Yeah,
this,
no, you're
but
good.
but the Coheed Bulldoze lore.
yeah,
it's
but,
true.
but
It
they
is
were
real.
cool. They liked
Oh,
our
yeah.
band, and
Yeah.
then like something went south.
Sure. Mike from
Yeah, Mike,
Bulldoze,
shout out Mike.
surely listening and
He's
watching.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, he'll be
he'll
psyched.
he'll
He's
be
awesome.
Psyched.
Touring on Second Stage after this Thursday stuff. You're writing for And Keeping Secrets at the same time. Is that how that's working, or do you
Yeah.
stop and okay?
Yeah,
because it
so-
came out a year later.
Yo,
Oh,
so
that's crazy.
we were touring for Second Stage and opening with the song "In Keeping Secrets." Like that stuff was already like on its way. Yeah.
You're opening with an 8-minute unreleased
Yeah.
song.
Oh yeah.
You're crazy, man.
Yeah. We were nuts.
But it's good. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And in 2002, you started working with Blaze as your manager.
Yes.
And he's still here to this
He
day.
is.
He helped set this up. Thank you, Blaze.
Thank you, Blaze.
Tell me about your relationship with Blaze.
I love Blaze. Blaze is my brother, my
Okay.
buddy, my wife might say he might be my daddy. I don't
Wow.
know, you know, like, but no, I do. I love Blaze. He's a straight, honest, like that's what I liked about him. When I first met Blaze, first off, okay, so I have a wacky imagination, right?
Okay. You?
And his name's Blaze.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I hear Blaze. So anyway, back in high school, and coming out of high school, like, you know, I got introduced at the drive-in right? Like, I think it was out of high school. In Casino, a friend of mine gave it to me, and I didn't understand it when I first listened to it. And he was like, well, we got to go see him. So we went, we saw him in the city. I can't remember if it was Brownies, the Continental, or the Wayne Firehouse. It was like one of those spots. And I was like, holy shit. This band looks like a bunch of me's on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
you know, I get that stuff a lot sometimes from fans that are like, you know, Puerto Rican, Spanish, whatever have you. And it's like, and I'm like, and I'm touched by it because, you know, I kind of had that feeling when I saw it at the drive-in.
Beautiful.
You know, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
You know,
Representation.
I mean, dude,
is
yeah,
like not. It's a real thing.
it's for real.
Your hair has evolved into like a symbol of power, not just for you, but your audience as well.
Right.
I've never seen Coheed without a big curly-headed dude front row.
Yeah, right,
You know?
right.
And like that's a beautiful thing. I read a review of No World for Tomorrow. There's a whole paragraph about your hair.
And it's not even about the
It has
record.
nothing to do with No
that's
World for Tomorrow.
That's sometimes a big problem.
It's a
man.
living thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it so much. I got so into the band because, you know, again, yeah, you kind of see representation, like you're saying.
Totally.
I kind of finally see myself, like, you know, in a performance, you know, and I was like, and so that band really holds a special place in my heart because
And that
of those
register
moments.
he's singing at.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and so like I said, I was like, I'm looking at like what
Gotcha.
could possibly happen, and so I look at the record and I see Navigator, Blaze James, and I'm like, oh man, those guys are wacky. Who the fuck is that dude? You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking, you know, I see the satellite dishes on the cover, and I'm like, this guy must live in an Airstream in the middle of New Mexico, like satellite dish, you know, beard, dusty. And then I met him, and I was disappointed. No, it was not that person.
Just so nice guy.
No.
We hear all the time, and ourselves have related to reading liner notes, reading the thank yous and albums, and finding new bands to discover. You're telling me you met him because you saw on their record?
Yeah. So
That's
like,
manifestation.
that's amazing.
brother.
yeah, but like like, you know, at that time, you know, the band is like there's like steam behind us,
Yeah.
and like now management is coming out of the woodwork, you know, and so we met a bunch of managers, all really nice, but you know, when Blaze hit me up, I was like, holy shit, it's Blaze
It's that
at
guy.
the drive.
Oh, he hit you up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up.
And then and so when we met, he just of everybody, he just felt like the most honest.
Cool.
Not that no one wasn't honest, but you know what I mean? Like, this guy is going to tell me
You know,
straight.
A straight shooter.
And
Yeah.
it's been 23 years, so you knew something. Before we move on to In Keeping Secrets, totally. Do you ever, like the first cruise, you did Second Stage all the way through? Is that true?
I believe so.
Okay.
My memory is terrible.
Dusting up on that, is there a moment where you're like, how the fuck did I do? How did I write? How did this guy, version of me, write these songs?
Oh, like me now,
Yeah.
right? Those?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a huge disconnect. Like last night playing Good Apollo 1, I'm like, damn, man. It's like, how many times am I going to say these nasty words? Like, I'm like,
bits while you're laughing.
Yeah, like, how the hell am I like, I can't get down with this guy that wrote this shit.
Well, luckily he's a fictional guy.
Exactly, that's
Wow,
right.
look at that.
Good escape.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, so at that time, and not to jump around, and we'll get back to the other, but like, I think of that, you know, at that time, that's when I started letting people know that this is all coming from a real place. Because that record is so much about heartbreak that it's like hard to disguise it, like in the fiction. So it's like, okay, now I'm going to have to show that there is a writer and his feelings are directly influencing the characters in the story.
The writing, right?
You know,
That writer that's writing.
Yeah.
I got it.
Wow.
I'm familiar. In Keeping Secrets. Silent Earth 3, one of my favorite records of all time. Is the 3 titling? Are you doing a New Hope episode 4 type thing? Is that
yes?
Okay.
Every record has in that part of the Amory Wars has a numeric value. Year of the Black Rainbow being year singular for 1.
Right.
Second Stage, second. In Keeping 3, Silent Earth 3, and then the 4s with the volumes. But yeah, it's like hiding the numeric value in the title.
Are you storyboarding this whole thing?
No.
You're going.
Yeah, like that's sometimes when I go back and I try to put these things in, like I realize there's a lot of holes because I'm writing. Again, it's the thing that's coming first is the thing I'm experiencing in the moment, and that's informing the fiction. But like, you know, I'm just taking my life and transforming it, you know, translating it into this thing. And sometimes I don't think about the things that happened before. And, you know, I mean, I have a broader idea, but then when I go back, like, for example, right now we're trying to adapt these things in novels, right?
Yeah.
And like really nuance, like get more nuance out of the novelizations.
So you got to go back and add detail.
Yeah, and we're finding that there's like, oh, there's some things here that how does this work? And like, okay, well, let's go back and let's like figure out, reread this. And
now you see why these Game of Thrones books take so damn long.
And Star Wars. That's again back to Star Wars. That makes total sense.
They fuck shit up all the time. So, In Keeping Secrets comes out 1 year after Second Stage. Wow. Unbelievable. Does your writing approach change, even though the time frame's kind of the same?
I think so, because now we're actually writing a record.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not just a collection of demos.
Yeah, right.
Something I noticed, and I've always noticed about In Keeping Secrets, is how bridge forward it is.
Bridge forward? There's a lot of bridges.
There's payoff.
Right.
And every song has an explosion that you got to get to.
So important.
Do you ever start with those and then work around them, or is it all kind of sequential?
I think it's all sequential, because at that time, a big part of why the songs were so long was not that I was consciously thinking progressive music. I was just not getting to the point.
Okay.
Or what I thought was the point.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, and that's why you have those songs like Three Evils, where it's almost like two songs in one, you know? Right? Like you get these songs that are like one song, and then all of a sudden it changes into another song. Or
and then
like
you get the beautiful Pull the Trigger on the Nightmare Stop.
Right.
Every song ends with a memorable thing that you got to like earn your way to, which is what makes a constantly replayable album experience. So it's like what you unlocked there, it was crazy to me even then. As a tween, listening to this record every day and playing Knights of the Old Republic at the same time.
Oh, right.
And I didn't know about the sci-fi element of it.
Yeah.
They just felt right together.
Yeah.
You figured something out here.
Oh, that's sick.
Well, and it's good to know that it was intentional.
Yeah.
That you were maybe not saying, oh, they got to get to this, but you're saying, I haven't gotten to this.
Yeah, right.
You're finding your point.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Resolution.
Right.
Resolving all the melodies. Tell me about the response to the record and the growth at the time, because it's got to be.
It was well received. I think I was like number 2 out of 5 like indie records in Rolling Stone.
That's what's up.
You know, I never got that
of
number
the year.
1. Yeah. No, but yeah, I think of the year. Like there was like a, you know, I remember being really proud of that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, oh wow, this is like crazy that, you know.
You're on EVR.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Right. Rolling Stone is talking about that. Yeah,
cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you know, that record is very special to me because it was like the first time we were like making a record. We were in a studio, and that was the goal. And
is it the same 2 producers as Second Stage?
Well, so Second Stage, when we did Second Stage, we actually did it in a bedroom in New Jersey.
Okay.
The actual recording was done by a fellow by the name of Jason DeZuzio.
Okay.
He had a studio called Stained Glass Studios in New Jersey, and it was really just his bedroom in his parents' house. But he had like a setup. And then when we went to mix it, we asked our friends Mike and Chris out of Applehead in Woodstock, New York, and but they were like, if we're gonna mix it, we'd like to get the production credit, and they were doing us a favor, so we were like, okay, well, I guess we didn't really have anybody producing.
So they
the
weren't
record.
producing the songs themselves.
No,
the way it sounded.
Yeah,
okay.
I see.
In Keeping Secrets, does that change in terms of their contributions?
Yeah, they're there. I mean, in terms of contributions, it's like. The songs were there.
Okay.
The arrangements, every once in a while somebody will give it an arrangement idea, but for the most part, like
sonic
the things
and
as a
tonal?
band.
Okay.
Yeah, the things as a band. Yeah, sonic, tonal sort of thing, but the things as a band, that's all that's the band members,
Okay.
The one thing we didn't bring up, and this is being a hardcore thing, is that Dr. No played on the first
I know.
song.
I totally had that. I forgot. And that's like the only feature on any Coheed record.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, he played on the first song. He played the solo.
That's so cool.
The only guy to ever guest on a Coheed record is Dr. No from Bad Brains.
Yeah, and song 1.
Why?
Wow.
How?
So here's so I'm sorry, I know.
No, I'm so glad you brought
I just
it up 'cause I
remembered
forgot
this. I'm
to-
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So back when I was in Shabutie, I would take the bus up from New York, from my town up the Thruway to go play in the band, in like these like the bars, like the bar at the time was called Joyous Lake. And I remember this one moment in particular because I got there early, and at the time I was underage, but the bartenders knew who I was because of the band in town, and and I sit at the bar, and I'm just like waiting. I have my guitar, and this fella's sitting next to me, and he's like. And I think I had like a Deftones sticker at the time. Like Around the Fur was like the shit. Like and so and my man was like, "You like the Deftones?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like the Deftones." He's like, I pioneered hardcore. I was like, "Oh, shit!" I was like, "Damn!" I thought he was like just kind of like this like wacky like towny guy, But it turned out it was Doc.
Fuck yeah.
And he had worked up there, and he was good friends with Mike Birnbaum, that operated the studio up there. So when we were mixing Second Stage, that was the thing that Mike had brought up. He was like, "Hey, why don't we get Doc to play on this song?" We're like, "Oh yeah,
that would be fun."
Are you a big quickness guy?
But I like quickness. I'm a big eye against eye guy.
Fuck
that's we celebrate the catalog
big time,
for sure.
Big time, yeah, but that's cool. Big quickness guy, big eye against eye guy. This is unbelievable. Tell me about touring on And Keeping Secrets. How much does that evolve, and does it feel different?
I mean, now we're getting better amplifiers, but it's not like the major. Things really change when Good Apollo happens, because then In Keeping Secrets, we're still in a van.
That's what I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think honestly, when I say that, things really changed. I mean, I think Good Apollo, we were still in a van. Like, it took us a long time to get to a bus. Like,
E350?
What's that?
Ford E350?
What's E4350?
Ford E350, the Econoline.
Oh, jeez, yeah. You see
the 15 pack.
We're all working with the same.
No bandwagon back then, too, I don't think. There's just a big jump from a van to a bus.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, not much changes. Like, it's we're in a van. Maybe we're getting offered like cooler slots. But
You still staying in people's houses?
I think that's still kind of happening.
When does
here and there.
the fandom happen?
Yeah.
Like the Coheed guy is a type of guy now, and Coheed gal.
Yeah, right.
When does that happen?
I think that takes a while.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a time where Coheed fans were not as beautiful as they are now. There was a time I remember we had Secret Machines opening for us, and people were like booing them, or the Blood Brothers, and people were booing them.
Oh yeah.
And like
their hearts are as beautiful, kind.
We're like, what? And now it's like it is such a different audience than it was. Like it's
the clown on the cruise is getting a standing ovation.
As he should.
It's unbelievable.
Because what are other similar fandoms? Non-derogatorily, you have Juggalos,
yeah, like they'll watch Hatebreed and they'll be putting their asses off.
Deadheads,
Yeah.
There's stuff like that. Maybe
it's a
Ghosts.
Deadhead-esque.
Yeah, I like to think of us as like a punk rock Grateful Dead.
That's cool. That. Okay.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Man Your Own Jackhammer, no longer just a lyric. Pardon this interruption. We hate to stop you from enjoying this incredible episode, but we got to tell you about something.
We really do. What do we got?
This episode is brought to you for the very first time by Dunnable Guitars.
Oh my God, look at that bad boy.
Dunnable Guitars are the guitars for heavy music. I've been using them exclusively, Dunnable Guitars and basses, for almost 3 years now. Your favorite artists love them. They built the Jackhammer, Claudio's signature guitar.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Not only do they have a dark Gibson sound in general, they also do a 25.5-inch scale, and others because they do full customization. But for those of you who might play in a down tuning other than, A440, something down there, drop B like we play, this is exactly what you need, especially if you want to play something kind of classic. A V, a Les Paul body type.
That's right.
You got 25.5-inch.
And you can grab an affordable, stripped-down Dunnable DE from the factory right now on the site, or you can build the guitar of your dreams in the Dunnable USA Custom Shop.
Listen to that.
And this is my favorite guitar ever. They made it just for me. I customize every aspect of it. I love it so much. Next year, they're going to do a new artist collabs with people like Will Putney, Mike from Yob, John and Ethan from Primitive Man. So be on the lookout for that. And use code HardLore to get 15% off Dunnable guitars until Christmas.
Wow. 15% off. That adds up.
A guitar.
A guitar.
Sweetwater ain't giving you that. We love them so
do.
much, but they don't carry Dunnable, and we
Come
do.
on.
So 15% off, code HardLore. Check it out. Dunnable guitars. This episode is also brought to you by Manscaped.
Oh, is it ever?
You know what it is.
Come
man.
on.
We got to keep it clean. We got to keep it crispy on here.
Come on, Pappy.
We were just on a cruise, and it wasn't very stinky, so I have to imagine everybody on that cruise was scaped
Head to flip-flop. Scaped
right.
up.
That's right. They were reviving crops all ship-wide. They were going land ho because they saw all the...
Keep going, I believe.
They saw all the pubic hair left behind on shore that was trimmed off with Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0.
I heard that.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
I don't believe
Tell me,
it.
Colin, if people use our code, what do they get?
They get 15% off and free shipping site-wide. This is not... I'm not laughing. This is not a joke.
This is very serious. Look at my face.
So whack the weeds, the nose hairs that you're now growing because you're getting old, and you're starting to look like your father. You're starting to look just like your father, and you got to get his same nose hairs out of there. Okay, it's crazy. Also, the handyman trim on the go, trim in the car, trim in the shower, wherever.
Yes, I use the beard trimmer. I use the body scrubber. It's like a silicone, nice thing for the shower. I love the body wash. I love the crop reviver, crop preserver. Love
Manscaped
weed
is
whacker.
always with you.
It's everywhere,
and it will always be with you, whether you know it or not. Because if we're around you, you're gonna smell something. You're gonna like it. Code HardLore Manscaped. Bye. I can man my own jackhammer. right now.
You can.
If you can get one. 22 years later, it's finally possible. Tell me about creating the jackhammer and Evil Instruments with my beloved Sasha Dunnable.
Oh, so I've been playing Explorers for so long, and like at some point thought maybe like one day I'd get my own, but it just never happened, and so I was on a flight to Florida to visit my in-laws, and I just started collaging it on an app in my phone called Union. It's basically like a Photoshop layering kind of process.
I use one called GoDaddy Studio. Check it out.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing.
I'm gonna check it out.
Check it out,
actually.
dude. It
Formerly
Yeah.
Over.
That's what all our thumbnail formerly called Over. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Go on.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I just like kind of bashed it together or collaged it together from, using the elements of guitars that I'd used in the past. Like when Coheed was first touring, I was using an SG, and then eventually moved to the Explorer, and then I found an E2 in Cincinnati at Mike's Music one time, like on Warped Tour actually. It was like crushed between like an Ampeg 8x12, like just smashed. And I was like, oh wow, that's the coolest Explorer I've ever seen. And like, and so I took those three, and just kind of bashed them together or collaged them, and I came up with that body type. And I sent it over to like my guitar tech at the time, and I was like, hey, is this something you think you can like get me like some kind of prototype, and he sent me something, and it worked for one song, but it was enough for me to be like, oh wow, this thing can kind of come alive. And so I started to talk with Sasha about like,
Making it real.
yeah, like how can we do this? And here we are now.
No, they can't keep them on the shelves.
Yeah, we sold out of the first run, and I just put in an order for another one.
Okay.
And different colorways. Like, so we started with the
You had three, right?
yeah, we did the walnut, which is very much mimics the E2.
Yeah.
And then we did a black and white. But now we're gonna do those again, but we'll also, we're gonna do a pink one, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, we got a couple other colorways coming.
Yeah, at the Greek show, you used all three.
I did, yeah.
And you propagandized me. By the end, I was like, if I don't get this thing, something bad's gonna happen.
Do you like your guitars heavier or lighter?
I like them
I
heavy.
like them kind of heavy, yeah.
Yeah, so the walnut is where you want to go because the walnuts is heavier.
Tasha.
Yeah.
I need a walnut jackhammer.
That's not. I know. I've seen pictures of you or videos of you using it before, but you pulled out that double neck SG,
Yes.
the white one.
Yeah.
It's a cool guitar.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when I wrote Welcome Home, I clearly knew that, you know, the Led Zeppelin Cashmere influence was in there. And so as an homage, I was like,
this up.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the
his
dark.
shit,
That's
yeah.
my shit.
Yeah.
That is the Dark Horse Led Zeppelin single. I think that's
hell
their.
yeah, dude.
That is like their song, more so than Stairway or anything.
right.
But yeah, so that I could see that tying in there.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what better way to homage that than to, like, you know, let me rip the guitar that page.
Is that in any kind of crazy tuning like Cashmere?
No, it's all standard. Yeah.
Standard across the board for the Coheed Discog?
No. Standard,
Talk to me.
half step downs.
Yeah.
All of Good Apollo 1 is half step down. Standards, drop Ds, 8-string guitars come out, baritone 8 strings on like Gravity's Union and like Bad Man, Love Murder 1, baritone guitar.
When you write these songs, do you tell your tech about them and you're like, hey man, sorry to do this.
Really sorry, but
We're adding one more. And
Oh, they don't mind.
Okay. Totally. So the production on In Keeping Secrets, I really want to talk about because it's like I love the way it sounds. It's the drums are raw and natural,
Right.
And the guitar is like it's warm. It's very natural. It borderline sounds like a punk record sonically.
Oh.
Like it's very real.
Right.
Is this something you're happy with at the time?
You know, I think I was so in shock that we're doing this stuff that I left that in the hands of our producers. I mean, when I listen back to it, you know, I hear all that.
Yeah.
But I also am like, God damn, what would it sound like if, you know, if we really
Sure.
like, you know.
I think it's the way it sounds is such a big part of the charm. Though.
That's awesome. That's
It's like Evil Dead 1 and 2 is In Keeping Secrets to Good Apollo.
Right.
You know? It's like a different thing. And then Army of Darkness is coming right around the corner.
I love that. Those are my jams. You know, the first Coheed show we ever played was we had Evil Dead 2 playing behind us.
I did
the
not
first
know
show
that.
ever.
First show ever. It was at like Stubbs.
Completely unrelated anecdote.
Yeah, it was like Stubbs, someplace in Kingston. I think it was called Stubbs, and they had a screen behind us. And I was like, "Oh shit, they have a screen behind us." We were like, "We should play Evil Dead behind us."
That's awesome.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Damn, I nailed that. I only have a couple more things. Okay, let's see. Can you, as again, I'm a big Coheed guy. I rarely know what the lyrics are about. Could you, in 60 seconds or less, summarize the plot synopsis of In Keeping Secrets?
Of In Keeping?
Yeah.
You know, when I think about the actual record of In Keeping Secrets, and I probably can't, but I think it's me like falling into who I am.
Okay.
You know, and like, oh, I'm realizing that I am now this person in this band. How do I express myself? How do I do this? How do I really do this with both a concept tag to it and my life needing to be expressed in these songs?
And you've said many times this is the first like complete record writing experience, start to finish. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
like when I think of the Light in the Glass, for example, like Light in the Glass, like
Beautiful song.
is about, so that song truly is about getting in a van, going out and getting a call that my dad is dead.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the end is just your father's dead. He passed in his sleep. It's like, you know, it's just like these realizations that we are now leaving home. And at the time, we didn't have the connections we do now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and not that he was sick. It was just like, you know, the realization of death, like coming. And I was still kind of young, and so were they. But like, you know, I just didn't want to be surprised by that idea. So I would write these songs that would get me prepared for it.
wow.
See,
You know
I
what I mean?
never would have put that together.
Yeah.
Does that
Holy
like
cow.
thematically play into the gap between that and 2113?
2113 is, you know, I don't really know what 2113 is, to be completely honest. Like, because of the Rush thing, and at this time
it's the proggest thing. Yeah. You're like, all right, fine, fucker. You want some prog?
and at this time I still haven't listened to Rush.
Okay.
You know, I'm still like avoiding it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck it. we're gonna, and we, you know, that was like the bonus track, so it wasn't printed on the record at the time, I think, as 21-3. I can't remember.
Yeah, did that just come, did you title that, or did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was 21 minutes and 13 seconds after the silence or something, right?
Yeah. And then, but we had to be like, you know, it's the consecutive number of 21-12, right? So it's like, let's just lean into it, and we did. And that, I think that song, like, there was like most of it, but then we just sort of just trying to figure it out to get it, like, just squeeze it on the record somehow.
Oh, wow.
You know,
It's a crazy song.
oh yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Crazy. It's an adventure. Something I've always wondered: the crowing breakdown.
Okay.
You popped off with that one.
Yeah. Which breakdown?
What's going on there?
So
that's when I'm like, there's a dark entity in this man's mind.
Shit,
and it's dying
we do
to
have
come
that
out.
guitar, but I'm not entirely sure I can like remember like how to.
Well,
it's really so. Let me see.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk to me.
I'm just gonna do it.
Talk to me.
Oh, see, I don't even remember it.
It's insane.
Right, so there's that. So it's like a diminished arpeggio, and like, oh yeah,
You're insane.
right. So it's like, so here's the thing. It's like, so this diminished arpeggio form. So I never I took a couple of guitar lessons, but as a kid, and when I took them, like, you know, they were like teaching me like songs, and I didn't really want to learn songs. I wanted to know like more theory-minded stuff.
Oh, really?
And not that I could read, but I wanted to know scales. Because I was writing music. I didn't want to just like rip like Jimi Hendrix or stuff, you know. So my teacher, the first thing he gives me is a diminished arpeggio.
So he gave you this incredible tool that would,
but what I remember telling a friend, I was told a friend of mine, and they were like, "That's the first thing they taught you."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, you know, but yeah, it's just, and then there's this open thing.
Just the hammer-ons.
Yeah, so.
Excellent. Outstanding. Got it live, motherfucker. What's the goal there? Because that's
Like, are you writing that for people to beat ass?
that's
to?
ass-beating music.
No, well, maybe. I mean, I think for me, it's like, you know, the crowing is such a visual song to me. You know, it's like, I'm thinking, like, I hear that, you know, I think cinematically.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's very much like the pictures that are being drawn. I mean, it's such a confusing song in terms of like who my identity, you know, when I think of like the crowing and like, you know, Dear Ambelina, the prize, you know, it's like this person coming to help me become a better, you know, my wife and I have been together for a very long time, you know, and like, and I've always wanted a connection to somebody that could make me, you know, complete, like make me,
Of course.
you know, ground me. And so that's like what that is like through all the chaos of this lifestyle that I'm now learning to live in, I just wish there was somebody to help anchor me in, like, in the real.
Here's a cool thing. I don't know if you're a big Stranger Things guy at all.
Yeah, I can get down.
So, my friend's wedding went super viral recently because Joe Keery from Stranger Things officiated it.
Oh, I saw that.
The groom, Matt, my very good friend, plays in a band called Post Animal, walked out to the crowing.
Get out of town.
So he's gonna love.
Yeah, he'll love that. Hi, Matt.
This is cool.
So sick.
So as someone who has spin kicked someone's head off to Coheed, I've done it. I'm sorry. Castle Heights, EGH, it's me. The big mosh parts are kind of like scarcely thrown into the discography tastefully, I feel like. And now I see like that's not super intentional. You feel it when you feel it.
Right.
But I see how excited Josh is every time he gets to ride the China. So I know they're in there deep down. Is holding off on doing these kind of like mega hard parts like that intentional, or is it just They come when they come.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of when they come when they come.
Okay.
You're serving the song.
Yeah, absolutely. Always. I mean, that's, again, like when I think of a song like Crowing is very much like, is in that format of 2 songs in one, and a lot of the stuff that's in between, like moments like that, are just enough to help me, visualize the answer. Like I think of like the beginning, it's like it's all questions being posed, until we get the big release, the resolve, the answer at the back end.
And it's
of course,
big pit.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
What do you think is the heaviest music you're a fan of?
So the heaviest music that I'm a fan of,
Like actively, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna put some Suffocation on it.
I did. That's funny that you say Suffocation. Effigy of the Forgotten is the one that that's hilarious that you just called that. So there was I had a brief moment in my teenage years where Effigy of the Forgotten and Obituary's Cause of Death were the things that I would go to sleep to.
Oh, you're sick.
Yeah.
It's like the Bash Brothers too. Wow.
And but yeah,
I knew it.
But yeah, that's so there are those like moments, and there was a moment where I was very like,
You got some Effigy in the Crowing. Yeah. I knew it.
Wow.
God damn it. What was revisiting this record like for the second cruise, playing this whole thing?
This one? Good Apollo?
The In Keeping Secrets. I guess we haven't quite moved on.
Oh, you're
playing
good.
In Keeping Secrets on the last cruise. You did that start to finish. Wish I could have seen that one. Is this another time where you look back and you're like, damn, this is special?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think all of them are, because they are really these like capsules of my moment in time. In Good Apollo, In Keeping, it's like kind of the years I met my wife. She came out to the studio. She was like sleeping in the loft area while I was downstairs singing in the room. Wow. And singing songs like The Crowing. It was just like it's very special. All of these records, even as I say, Good Apollo, when I hear those, I didn't know how to process love at that time. You know what I mean? I was an idiot, and I could have chosen my words better. But I was also like
that's all right,
angry and mad, and again, I didn't know how to process it, and that's why it made it what it is, and and helped inform a really cool part of the story. So every record is like so important and so special to me. Sometimes it's like, it's great to go back and listen. Like I don't listen to this stuff like all the time. Like the other day I listened to The Color Before the Sun, and it just got me like in a way that I was like, wow. And then another day I listened to Unheavenly Creatures, and some of the songs on there I was like, did I even write this? What the fuck is this song? I was like,
Color Before the Sun is the only non-concept record, right?
Yeah.
And dude, Here to Mars, that's like one of the most beautiful love songs of the century.
Thanks, man.
I Met the Woman it's about. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. Check it out. Great song. Good Apollo Volume 1. Same production team.
Yep.
Different, same engineers, same everything?
Yep. Chris Bittner, Michael Birnbaum. Yep.
Different result. Massive record. It's crystal clear. Drums are explosive. Guitars are heavier. You got recurring melodies and parts, like we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. Tell me about crafting your major label debut here.
So now there's more money.
Yeah,
like
money
guitars are getting like delivered to Yeah. I remember when we got like a Taylor delivery and it was like boxes upon boxes. We were like, what the hell is this?
You can do that?
Yeah. It was different. Matt Pinfield was involved, so we had Matt, who to us, he was our A&R.
Okay.
So he would come up.
Interesting.
And,
I met him today too. First thing he said, great shirt.
Oh, hell yeah.
How about that?
We got another one, Richie. They're out there.
But yeah, so it was just like, now's a chance to really put, in my mind, I'm always like trying to attain the thing that feels like really creative and wacky, like Sgt. Pepper. So it's like,
sure. How
do we get, strings involved?
Yeah, play the unplayable.
Right,
know?
Oh,
right.
wow.
And this one, what was really nice about this, and I don't know if you guys know, the Carl Berger was the fella that arranged the strings on Good Apollo who also had done Jeff Buckley's Grace.
Oh man.
No
Just
kidding.
talked about
we
it at
just talked about that in
length.
another
Yeah,
episode.
Masterpiece.
Yeah,
The one and only.
Yeah, and he lived up in Woodstock, so so we got to knowing him, and he would come and he subsequent records like Afterman and anything we had done up there, Unheavenly Creatures, things that had been done up there. He just
That's
passed
live
away.
orchestra on Good
Yeah.
Follow?
Wow.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, he had done that. So things like that get to become a reality for us, you know.
And so you write, when you finish writing Welcome Home, do you have a moment as a band of just like, we've done it?
We did.
Well, here, check this out. I wrote Welcome Home, and I was still living in my parents' house at this time. So I wrote
That'll
it on
get you out of there.
Yeah. But so we had this. So it was like my grandfather and I. We shared like the basement apartment of this house, and so I would, I'd write music. I'd lived there for a while. I mean, I'm like 25 maybe at this time. You know, I'm the guy that's like, But I people are like, wow, that guy's never gonna leave that house. You know.
Oh.
But like so anyway, I'm down there, and it really made no sense. We were touring so much, to
totally.
go and like waste my money
sure.
on something. So anyway, I'm in the kitchen area. I'm in my boxers. I got an acoustic guitar, and it's a small kitchen area, like it's like a closet. And I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm creating that riff, and I finish the song and get the kind of melody, and I'm like, holy shit, this song is the shit. Like I have this feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
And my mother comes down, she's like, what the fuck? And she's like ready to do laundry. And then she's like,
Mom, listen.
This guy's what is wrong with this kid?
Wow.
Who's not a kid, who's an adult now.
Are you
But you did have that feeling.
Yeah.
are you playing the pinch harmonics on the acoustic?
I probably was, but
That's great.
But yeah, that was all on acoustic guitar. But as a band, like when we got together and we started playing it as a band and started arranging it as a band and thinking of strings and stuff like that, we were like, okay, this has got to be grand.
Yeah, big time. And it was. And let me ask you, out of all your accomplishments, 11 studio albums, 3 cruises, numerous awards, number 69 in Guitar World's greatest guitar albums of all time, where does having this song in Fortnite rank in your list of personal accomplishments? It's got to be high.
It's high because Fortnite's the only game I Twitch.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah.
You're a streamer?
I don't keep VODs up,
Okay.
but I do random Twitch streams.
Drops.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Fun.
We got to squat up, man.
yeah. Okay.
I'll see
Let's
you out
do
there.
it. Yeah.
All right.
That's the game
after this Simpsons season, because it's brutal.
Oh, is it really?
Oh.
I haven't had a chance to mess with anything, but dude, like honestly, I mean, that's there. What would rank higher than that is to get the characters in it.
Yeah. I need a Claudio skin.
I want to put the characters
yours.
on the story.
The emerald.
I see.
Yeah, we'll get those too.
Yeah, but
I need to see that hair falling out of the battle bus. The process of handing them a song has to be insane because you can change the key and tempo of any instrument.
oh, you can.
And
It gets like that.
You can mix it with
you
any
can do-
song.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
I
you
did
didn't
not
know
realize
this.
that. I just go in there.
I'll show you. I got it. Yeah, I purchased Welcome Home with my V-Bucks, so I'll show you. Show you how to do it. Did Good Apollo go platinum?
Oh, yeah, I think it just. Yeah,
That's what's
it
up.
did. Yeah.
Congrats.
Wow, congrats.
Congrats.
That's
Thank you.
crazy.
This seemed like a beast to tackle and relearn to perform all at once. I feel like I saw brief moments, as a musician, I saw moments of frustration on your face. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear a mistake because you're good. But are you hard on yourself while performing in general?
Yes and no. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Because I want it to be good. I don't want to ruin. Singing the way I do is like, it's scary sometimes
Yeah.
because if I do it the wrong way, I could like blow my voice and then I compromise
I'm fucked
everything.
right now.
Yeah. Are you really?
Oh, I'm compromised.
Yeah. I'm compromised.
I'm compromised.
But you know what I mean.
I do.
So you do.
How do you maintain that? What are your tricks?
Body mapping.
What the fuck is that?
Well, it's body mapping is it's a new thing I've learned in terms of like how you get the air in here, how you feel the air, how how it gets out of your throat, and trying not to use your throat. you know, just allowing the air to pass.
I see you doing all kinds. You're changing body positions for certain vowels.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
so that's body mapping.
I think so. Like, I saw a doctor in Nashville just to kind of get some tips, and that's the phrase that she used. And so I'll take it, like, because when I think of that phrase, it kind reminds me, like, oh, I shouldn't be shooting. Like, I feel it now. Like when it passes through here, like it almost feels like it has to go over, and then instead of through. If that makes any sense.
Wow.
I would like to think it does, and then I start singing, and I'm like, I'm blind here.
Dude, there's this thing she taught me with a water bottle and a straw, and you just like with like about an eighth of the bottle being filled, and you have to make these sounds just tones. They're just tones, 5 tones, and you do it 5 times, and it's very simple. But while you do it, you kind of feel, when you take your air in, you don't use your neck, you use here. You make sure your shoulders don't go up, right?
Wow.
And then you allow the air to pass through, and you're blowing bubbles into this thing, right? And you just allow the air to pass through in a way that feels gentle.
Okay.
And I do that, and then I do my warm-up that I've been doing for like 20 some odd years.
How long is that?
Yeah, how long is that
intensive?
warm-up?
15 minutes.
Not bad.
Yeah. So overall, it's about a 20 to 25 minute work.
Can I find this warm up somewhere, or is this proprietary technology?
Oh, you mean the warm up like that? The actual warm up that I do?
Is it
It's just I learned it from a fellow by the name of Ron Anderson. He passed away not too long ago, but I met him around the time of In Keeping Secrets, because you know now the band is like touring for real. And I just went to him one time, and he showed me like 45 minutes to an hour worth of stuff. But I found that the 15 minutes of it works for me.
Did it. Okay. All right, I got to move on from Jacob's Vocal Academy. He's not really.
Is that what is
he's
that?
failing me, man. It's this 5-minute warm up that I guess isn't enough. The Apollo 1 and 2 songs. The like dual choruses, how they swap on those? Are you just like, these are so fucking sick, I got to do them twice?
No.
What happens there?
So when we were writing the record, Michael Birbaum suggested that this song was potentially a single. And so,
I mean, it's a banger.
Right. So, but he's like, okay, so we got to chop it down. We got to get rid of all the fat. Now, we're talking about me, who's like
8-minute track one.
I'm like, I need to get to my point, man.
Yeah.
Like, I need to go through all the portals, and so. But I get it. We're now on a major label, and I'm like, and I start thinking, I'm like, well, Pink Floyd did it on The Wall. They had reoccurring things and songs that happened twice.
Boy, did they ever.
Yeah. I was like, all right, we'll do that, but we're still gonna do this one.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
we're gonna put it at the end, and I tell you this though, we kick ourselves in the ass for it every time. But yeah, like.
Because you got to do both.
Yeah, and they're there's these little variations.
Yeah, I saw a moment last night where Travis looked at Josh and was like, I don't want this one. And Josh's like, fuck. All right. So that makes sense. That's very cool. But great, both choruses, great. So I get it. What changes for Coheed after this record? Like just exponential growth, platinum record. Maybe now it's platinum, but it was certainly gold at the time, I think, like immediately, right?
Oh, here, check this out before we get into that question.
Hit me.
Just so you know, in Everything Evil, the original bridge of Everything Evil is actually in the Telling Truth of that Good Apollo.
You chopped it and saved it?
The one that's Jesse, bad boy. That is actually used to be where that weird part is. Where the whole song and Everything Evil
shakes. Isn't it kind of like, there's kind of a musical motif that goes back, that sounds like In Keeping Secrets, though.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like it sounds like Blood Red Summer. It's definitely a musical, but that was pre-Blood Red Summer.
Man.
And it was originally the internal guts of Everything Evil. And we were like, you know what, this other thing sounds really interesting. And it just kind of stayed there in the back of my mind. And when we did that song,
that's really cool.
I'm going to inject that.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
You save those things and you go, I know I'll have something for this later. That's beautiful.
Sorry, I thought you'd like to know that.
Listen, I wouldn't have known to ask that. But what changes for Coheed now? What's next?
Yeah, We're into buses now.
I think so, but that's the thing is I feel like we took so long to get into a bus. Like I think we're in trailers now.
Fuck it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we're renting a trailer.
Yeah.
Like
Respectable,
from,
you know.
But I took
Step
You
up.
need room for merch boxes now,
right,
you know?
like you know. But that being said, what year is Good Apollo?
2005, we're 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, like are we in a bus? I mean, I gotta say that we have to be, but it just took us so long, so I can't really like. I'm not entirely sure. Like
Okay.
this might be the transitional phase. It might
You
not.
mentioned Warped Tour earlier.
Yeah, like Warped Tour. So Warped Tour 2007, we're in a van. We're in a bus,
Right,
for sure. But 2004, I think we were still in a van.
Okay. Wow, so
We're in a trailer.
Brutal.
Okay.
The first one we did, I think, was 2003, and we only did a portion of it, and that was in a van. And then
Is that tough?
2004,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we did. Oh yeah. And then we did it, I think, in a trailer. On the,
Like a camper trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
like a-
Wow.
yeah, like
wow.
we rented it from like.
Yeah.
RVs.com.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is to be completely honest, my memory is terrible for these
You're doing
details.
great.
You're doing
so
great.
I mean, I might be wrong. Like the guys could be watching this, and be like, "This guy is wow." Like just
No World for Tomorrow. This is Good Apollo Volume 2, which you'd never know from the packaging. Is that a label decision?
no world for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like we have these moments where there's these inconsistencies because like people are like, "Oh, that title, the first time we got so much flack for the other title being so long." Like,
But it was gold in a week.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
So
like-
what do you mean?
yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm like I know what No World for Tomorrow is. I know it's the continuation and
Right.
it's volume 2, and so I'm like, all right, if that helps. But yeah, I hate it, and it happens still to this day. Like Vaxxus 2, for example, is another moment where, it's like, well, let's let people know, and now we're in Father of Make Believe, and they're like, well, let's, and this is me and Blaze talking, and sometimes I'm like, come on, Blaze,
Come on,
like,
man,
why
you
are
know me.
like, yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm like. So, but it happens, and I know what it is, and
Sure.
one day I'll get all the masters back, and I'm just going to put it all out.
There you go.
You know.
The full story.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
This is the first record without Josh on drums.
Right.
Chris Penny's in the band, but contractually can't play on it.
Yep.
So you got the late, great Taylor Hawkins on the kit for this album. How was working with him for that?
It was great because Taylor brought so much positivity to what we were doing, and honestly, he played more like Josh in a way.
Yeah, Chris is wild.
Yeah, and I think Chris, his identity being on "You're the Black Rainbow,"
time.
I think is perfect.
There's all that kind of,
Yeah.
it's all over that.
Yeah. But like we're coming out of No World for Tomorrow is like that's what that record title is about. The band almost breaking up. There's no world for tomorrow for Coheed and Cambria because it felt like pretty dismal. Guys were falling in to chemical dependencies, like couldn't complete obligations. It felt like everything was falling apart. And Travis and I, being the friends that we were for so long, we just picked up the pieces and made this happen. And with the help of Nick Raskulinix, he got Taylor involved, and Taylor just his energy was just so positive that it didn't feel the cloud that was hanging above us. It wasn't looming as bad as it would have been, say, if we didn't have him, and we didn't have even Nick as well. Nick's energy was tremendous.
What about, and Rick Rubin was part of this record?
Yeah,
as
Rick.
well?
So Rick was a chairman at Columbia. So we went and we met with Rick to talk about making this record. So initially we were thinking of Tony Visconti to produce the record, who had done like Bowie and Lizzie and T-Rex, and
all very fitting.
And Rick had suggested Nick, and we were like, okay, we weren't too familiar with him, but we met him, and like his just energy just felt really good, and then when we found out that Chris couldn't be involved, he was like, well, the Foo Fighters are doing a record, maybe we can get Taylor involved, and so it happened, and it was great. And he was just coming off of actually doing a Rush record, Nick. So he had so it was all
There's all that.
all
That's bad.
yeah,
Rush
of course.
shit's back.
Yeah, hear that Rush thing.
Did Rick assist in production?
No,
Okay.
not
But
at
he gets
all.
that credit, huh?
Yeah, he was just kind of there and like made a decision, and we experienced his house in Malibu and the ferocious flames of his fire. I remember that was a big thing that we all noticed, because it felt very like a possession was happening in that house, because that shit was roaring fire. I'd
Like an
never
actual
seen,
fire.
Like a fireplace.
like a fireplace.
Yeah.
It was just I was like, damn, that shit is possessed.
Why?
I don't know.
It's like in California.
I know, it's hot as hell in here already.
Weird guy. The Running Free. Is this written for Transformers? Is that true?
Yeah, so I wrote a couple of songs with Sam Hollander and Dave Katz in New York City, for potential placement.
Right.
And Running Free was one, and the other was The Road in the
Linkin
Dam.
Park got it, huh? Instead?
Yeah, I mean, there's none of that stuff ever coming Coheed's way. But I did. I wrote The Road in the Dam for Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
Oh.
And then I did Running Free for Transformers. And that's why the riff is the way it is.
Yeah.
Gung, 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 gung. It's almost playing off of the
shit.
Yeah.
Totally.
And was the Transformers franchise aware of the first Coheed Cambria shirt that would lead to?
Nope.
That's surely why they
God
scouted
damn
you.
it. I
You
should have brought that up.
And that got Transformers if you're watching. Can we expect a No War for Tomorrow cruise in 2027?
Possibly.
That's what's up.
So here's the thing, man. Is I got on this ship, and we did this 3 times, and I was like, I got on, and I was telling my wife, I was like, I don't know if I could do it again. Like, I don't like being, we had a pretty heavy year this year of touring, and then having to learn the record and
It's a lot.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm burnt, and but I was standing at this window and I saw 2 people. I think I brought it up last night at the show. I saw 2 people embrace, and they're like, and it reminded me of the story I put in my mind was that they hadn't seen each other since the last one.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And because it was it was really intense, and I was like, man. I was like, we've really cultivated such a cool community here. Like, if people are willing, if they want to do this, I'll provide this for that
awesome.
happiness. Because
there's also a Coheed album cover that is just that.
It's a cruise ship?
Yeah, is it?
Oh,
what I'm talking
Unheavenly Creatures,
Yeah.
where Sister
big,
Spider,
big, beautiful embrace.
Yeah, right.
That's what's up. It's real now, guys. The breakdown in the title track. Come on, man. You know what you're doing.
Which one?
I was killing people at the Fox and
Killing
Pomona.
those 2 people hugging.
Killing motherfuckers.
Oh,
to
you
the
mean
song.
of No World for
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
yeah, the
Oh,
top,
yeah.
He's riding, he's hitting
Yeah.
it on the crash. What are you doing there? Like, what comes to mind where you think, I'm going to put this crazy mosh part in the middle of this record, and that's that.
Right.
That's it. What's the goal?
Is that the suffocation?
Maybe,
Maybe, yeah.
Energy coming back?
Came to you in a dream.
That one, again, No World for Tomorrow is essentially there's the band is breaking apart.
Okay.
So
this is the world imploding
yeah.
around you when this part hits.
Yeah, and that happens in the story.
And do you shout out the crowing again before that part?
We potentially.
Crowing, son. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I can't recall stuff unless I play it.
Okay.
I'm like. What
You know what I'm talking about? Before the you all think you figured me out. What's the part before that as it's building up? As the in the falling cusp of all broken. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know, but I can't unless I'm playing the whole song. I'm like, I know exactly.
The song is
Yeah.
this good.
Yeah.
You should check it out. It's great. but this mosh part, this is a thing where somebody will be like, I haven't heard the new Coheed, and I'll be like, you need to stop what you're doing and put this part on because you won't believe it. Like, coming from a hardcore perspective.
Right.
So I just wonder if you know what you're inciting with these moments like this.
Yeah, you're talking about the din din din. din. The guitar just happens
hit
to
it.
be
Yeah,
on.
Wow, about that.
Wait, you're talking
Oh yeah. I'm
So
talking
this
about
is drop D.
Oh, this is drop
Yeah.
D.
Okay. Yeah.
But the breakdown.
And then how's that part?
Come on.
So like that, right? Dun, 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 dun.
I'm spilling blood out there.
Yeah.
It's over.
I'm not even
Bandana's
saying
on.
it right. But that, I know, yes, absolutely. Like, because it's, yeah.
Are you just like you're just going with what's coming out, or is it the goal of like I need a big mosh part here?
Yeah, because this is, it's definitely just like what's going to help me transition into the next part.
You're crazy, man.
That's always, I don't really, I feel like if I thought like that, I'd probably have more success.
But it makes those moments stand out. The fact that there are so few of the like big obvious mosh moments makes them all stand out, which is cool. Using them sparingly is like a weapon every time. Where In Keeping Secrets is very bridge forward to me. Right. No War for Tomorrow is very hook forward.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to become more concise. I'm starting to like answer my, I always think of like songs. When I think of songs, I think of like verses as the questions and choruses as the answers. Right? You're posing the question and the chorus answers it. And now it took me a very long time to understand that, and that's why so much of Coheed's earlier songs are those two songs in one.
Big time.
Like I'm just like continually like trying to figure out how to answer the question. Now I'm starting to understand it a little more. You're starting to get more feathers and more running frees and things like that. Roads in the Damned. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting there quicker.
Is that
I'm evolving, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that an intentional thing for, like, are you,
or natural, just as
or is it just happening?
I think it's just happening,
right?
Because at the same time, like I'm also noticing it's happening, and I realize like, I also don't want to abandon things like what's that song called? I don't remember. The one that's like
Back to Standard.
Right, that one.
That's deeper in the record.
Yeah. So there's that's one of those longer kind of songs.
That's a Chromax riff.
Oh yeah, all right.
That's straight up. That was
a lot of Chromax.
Don't tread on me, right there.
Exactly. Year of the Black Rainbow. This is the longest gap in records yet. Thematically, it's a prequel story to the rest of the catalog.
Yeah.
What brings upon that decision? Do you feel like the story's done, or do you feel like you need to explore the beginning before you can keep going?
Yeah, so at that time, like I'd always, initially in my mind, the Coheed story was only going to be 3 parts. It was going to end with In Keeping Secrets, and I found that like when I started to translate that into a story, it didn't conclude the overall saga, Okay. And so that's why I broke the next 2 records into 2 volumes, because I was like, I didn't want to find myself in that world again of like, I'm going to say this is the end, and I'm not going to get there. So I broke it into 2 to like get me up the mountain and then take me down.
Okay.
That being said, when I always thought of it being a 3-part, I knew I'd go back to tell the story of Coheed and Cambria. Because like when you think about the conceptual part of it, in Second Stage, you don't really see much of Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of villainized. Mm-hmm. See, it's funny. It's like in the music, I didn't want to villainize my parents, but in the story, the concept,
but in real time, you're writing what you're experiencing.
Right, yeah, and like so in the story they do, and they kind of become these villains, and then they end up like destroying a portion of Heaven's Fence, and they become like the terrorists of the Amory Wars. So I wanted to give them a heroic tale, and Year of the Black Rainbow was that.
Wow. Are you finding this, aside from being a device for you to kind of share feelings that you might have, or kind of tell a story, are you finding it cathartic to get this out?
Oh hell yeah. I mean that's the thing is like to be able to, the music really, the concept has allowed me to really be as honest as I possibly can. Like we're talking about Good Apollo. I mean, it's a nasty, awful record. Like, if I didn't have the concept, I couldn't be that nasty.
I would never know. You look at the people singing along to it, dancing, smiles on their faces for an hour and 15 minutes. It's insane. You would never know that.
Yeah. We were watching them last night, and people were having
out of their minds.
Biggest beaming smiles. Wow.
And my father-in-law's on the ship right now, and he's like, man, everybody really likes it. That theme about tonight is just killing. He's saying he had such a blast.
That's crazy. Wow. That's unbelievable. So Year of the Black Rainbow, this leaked early.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. You know how? Did you run the Coheed Cambria Twitter in 2010?
Blaze may have.
Blaze did.
Yeah, Blaze. Yeah.
So that means I had a conversation with Blaze in the Coheed DMs in 2010, where I informed.
Oh, no way. Does he know that?
That the record had leaked. I don't think so. I don't think he knows that was me.
Oh, that's rad.
But, you know, records leaking early in those days.
In those days,
it sucked.
It sucked. Yeah.
But it also is like nice to know that people care about your music so much that they'll scour the depths of the internet to find it. Whereas now nothing leaks because nobody gives a shit. And streaming has made people like, okay, this came out last week, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
right.
I'm on to the next thing.
Or if it does leak, it's manufactured.
Yeah, totally.
It's
Yeah,
a
right.
fake leak.
I've done that.
Because
It's
of the buzz.
How much? This is technically album 5, right? I get confused because
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
what's changed for you? You're now Chris is on drums. The band's come a long way. It's a completely different entity.
Mm-hmm.
This record is way more melodic, front to back, I would say. What's changed by now?
So at this point, on Good Apollo, No World for Tomorrow, I purchased my first mini Moog, like a Moog Voyager, and I'd always been into synthesis, but you know, purchasing that and understanding the signal flow of that machine made it way more interesting to me.
There's a lot of keys. And stuff.
It made it so much more interesting, and not like just like I turn it on and kind of have to get into a preset. Although the Mini Moog Voyagers do have presets,
Right.
Just the way to create sound is there's way more of a connection.
Because you're patching those sounds.
Well, not with a Voyager, because like it's basically. It's like just a mini Moog, but it's, you know, the thing is you have to kind of understand where the signal's flowing. It's not like a modular synthesizer.
Understood.
There are some modular inputs on the top of it, but it's still standalone.
Okay.
But it got me so interested in it that I wanted to move into the next phase, which is modular, and that's where we get into working with Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails and Joe Barresi of you know, working with like Queens of the Stone Age, and so they partnered up on this record, which really makes that record so special.
It's so different. It's awesome.
I to this day, it is one of my favorite production artist experiences I've ever had, because it just like. They really brought a creative. It's
a dynamic change.
Yeah,
completely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, we're just trying to get good sounds. We're trying to be inspired by these sounds and like and
by guys who pioneered these.
Yeah,
sounds,
guys who are not just guys. They are names.
Dude, and like the idea of like just getting like allowing the chance moments, the happy accidents to inform things. You know, it got me like remembering being a kid sitting at a 4-track and like accidents happening and being so excited about those things. Like you can't, you know, with a 4-track cassette player, it's like, you know, that's it. You can't record. It's not like Pro Tools where you can like layer sounds across your track, or, you know, just cut it and move it over. It's like, it's there. If you want it, now's the time to take it. If you don't. And so it reminded me of that, you know, and I loved it.
Beautiful. After this, the next 4 or 5 records are noted as produced by Coheed Cambria for the first time.
Is that true?
I think so.
Afterman? Oh yeah, Afterman definitely.
The last 2 are produced by Claudio. That's what's up.
I moved up in the world.
Yeah, good for you.
I think it had a lot more to do with the fact that we were, you know, because of the pandemic, we were remote recording, and so, but yeah.
So produced by Coheed and Cambria, what brings upon that decision to just do it yourself?
You know, well, was it Afterman? Oh yeah, it must be Afterman that comes after. So we ended up going back to the studio up in Woodstock, and we just, you know, we'd been doing this for so long, and most of the time, the music never changes. Like the actual songs, we're never really given that kind of input. And that's, I think, the thing I've always been like kind of looking for, and that's why I think
So you
we
want
got
that.
Yeah, I mean, because I know what I've been doing it so long. That's why I enjoyed working with Atticus and Joe, is because they would, in their way, kind of
Shape
help.
the song.
Yeah.
Have you explored working with them again?
Well, I mean, I think because of this, yes, but also. I think that was like kind of just like this one time. We're lucky our schedule.
Perfect storm.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I just want to find, I want to be inspired. Like I'm inspired every day, and I'm starting to get older at this time in the record making, and I want somebody to bring something to the table, and so, but it hasn't happened. So I was like, let us be at the helm of this thing,
That's
awesome. And so
you're doing it either way.
Yeah.
You've been producing the whole time.
Right, of course.
Very cool. I know that we can't keep you here all day, so I want to make sure we talk about.
Okay. I don't know. I'm fine.
Let's talk Father of Make Believe.
Okay.
Because goddamn, what a record!
Thanks,
Congrats. It's full of like return to form Coheed moments, if that makes sense.
Right on.
Like if there's what's my favorite song from it? One Last Miracle.
Oh wow! Right on.
That gives me like Second Stage vibes.
Oh, very sick.
It all feels very intentional. There's a lot of like sub 5-minute tracks, which is rare.
Right.
How did this process begin? And it being produced by you.
So some of these songs were actually written in the time of Window of the Waking Mind. So through the pandemic. So songs like Goodbye Sunshine could have been on Window of the Waking Mind.
Was that the first single or second?
That's a good question.
It was one of them, right?
Someone Who Can, I think, might have been the first single. But yeah, so this is coming out of Window of the Waking Mind. This is remote recording. So one of the things I'd always loved about writing music is the demoing process. And that's the one thing I found kind of gets lost when we go into the studio and we try to recreate these things.
Demoitis.
Yeah, and
It'll get you.
Well, the thing is I'm also like, I'm writing it and recording it, and so I'm not really capturing the inception of the song. I mean, I am in the demoing stage, but then I'm like trying to compete with that.
Yeah.
And there's like an honesty and there's something about that just doesn't get.
It's magical.
Yeah. And so Window of the Waking Mind allowed us to like tribute that, because we had to write remotely. And so some of those songs spilled into Father of Make Believe, and I just loved Window of the Waking Mind so much that I was like, I just want to do that again. Let me at least do this one more time.
Okay.
And then because we already had so many songs that were already spilling over from that. So again, it's one of those isolated writing songs at my house, and kind of sending it around to everybody, getting their vibes, throwing input around, and then just getting with Zach Cervini and making it sound good.
How like Travis is doing? His fans are running a mile a minute as well. How much are you writing a lot of that, or is Travis coming like, I got my shit?
There's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Like some songs, there are moments where when I'm just writing at home, like sometimes I need the leads to kind of inform or help support the vocals, So there are moments where I kind of like step on what Travis does, but then there are moments where I do back off and I allow him to kind of be the voice of
Shred.
Yeah, like to allow him to be there, because it's not Coheed without Travis. You know what I mean? It's
two very distinct shredding voices.
Right.
Yeah.
We're very different.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a respect there. So I wouldn't want that to be like, I don't want it. Coheed isn't just me in a room. As much as I love the idea of tributing the demo, which is that, it needs the other players to have its true identity.
And Josh is, the open-handed freak style.
Dude.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
I've loved that, something, the little ghost notes, something I connected to right away.
Oh, dude, he will love you for that. That's
the Ghost King. He's a Spectre on the kid. Phil Spector.
All the symbols on one damn side.
All on one side. Is that
Yeah.
a nightmare for? Does he do that in recording too?
Yeah, he has to.
Is that
That's
hell?
like that's his performance. I mean, no, because it's that's his character. I mean, I'm sure it could be because you're not getting the isolation on the on the hat as much as you would.
Does he record like shells and cymbals separately now?
Shells and cymbals? No.
Yeah, people do that.
People
It's
are
crazy.
doing that.
Yeah, no. We're old school.
Hey, good to know.
Yeah, good. Yeah, sure.
Love it. How do you know at this point, after 11 songs, when a song is done? How do you get stuck still?
Yes.
Or do you just do you follow your instinct first and foremost?
For me, it's the thing that I get stuck on is when is a record complete, and I mean that in terms of like when is it too long, when is it too short, when are we hitting all the beats we need to in the story that's in my mind, and also the emotions that I'm trying to get at to capture like what I'm going through in this moment in time. That's the hardest part for me because like I said, Goodbye Sunshine was a song that was sitting around during Window of the Waking Mind. There were other ones too. I mean, I think Play the Poet was a riff that was hanging out for a while.
So that does happen.
Yeah, like they just sit. There's we released these 4 Entity songs. One of the songs is called Key Entity number 8, Peter the Wishing, and that song is as old as Afterman.
Oh wow!
Like that song was the song.
This is in the like 18 track version of it that just came
new
out?
version.
Okay,
Yeah. So that song was what informed Gravity's Union. So like
That's a hit, right?
Yeah, I love Gravity's Union. It's
Hit.
one of my favorite Coheed songs. And but like that. At that time, I wrote that tune, and I didn't really see what it really meant to me. And then like. I remember when my grandfather passed away, and like some of the phrases in that song reminded me of that, and I was like, that's what this song is about. So like, colored the entity after those experiences.
So
Very
when you
cool.
get to 10 tracks out of 11 done on a record, or you just have 10 done, you don't know how many you're going for, but you get the feeling, we need one more. I think we need one more. How are you squeezing out this idea? Do you just pick up a guitar and start fiddling? Or are you going back to your demos? Are you going back to a bank?
Most of the time going back to the demos. I mean, I don't think there's ever a moment, to be honest, that there's not enough material. It's always there's too much.
So you're demoing.
Yeah.
And it's complicated because any other band you would think like the shorter the better, it's fine, we can keep it short. You have a rabid, diehard fan base that wants the experience to be grand, and they want to pick apart what you're saying.
Only 10 songs?
And revisit these motifs. So it's harder for you than kind of anybody.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, for example, like Dark Side of Me, right? That wasn't even a song that was going to be on any of the Afterman records. It was a riff. Travis was working on the verse riff, like in the kitchen area at Applehead, and I was like, that's a cool riff. And let me take that. I take the riff home, learn it, and I construct a song around it. And I'm like, but this is worthy of the record. This is a thing, you know. And it's not even like it didn't feel like we were missing anything. It was just like at that moment in time, it's like that is a statement, and I'm inspired by it. Let me see what I can do with it. Get it to a place, and it's like, okay, this has a home on this record, or it doesn't, you know.
Yeah, how often does that happen? How often is an idea brought where it's just, it's just
not yet.
Not yet. Not there.
Right. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but I think it you know, because I kind of everything kind of funnels through me, so it's like, it's just kind of the way things have like gone through a little bit of year, but like there are moments where just if it hits like 10, usually it's from Travis, 10 speed. 10 speed is a riff Travis messing with, and it's like, Dark Side of Me. What's off of Radio Bye Bye, a riff that Travis had. So there are things when they're like in my periphery, and like I can, it's in informing a melody. Like I'm
grab it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is sometimes there are those moments where it doesn't, and it's and people are maybe disappointed sometimes by that, but it's not. It's just because if it hits me, then it's like it's worth like exploring at that moment.
It all seems very fluid, very liquid and flexible and creative in that. So that makes a lot of sense.
All right, we're gonna wind it down here a little bit.
Yeah.
We've been a band for forever. How at this point do you relax on tour?
I write. I write.
You're just a
all the
music
time,
guy.
dude.
You just don't stop.
So I realized you know GarageBand with the right preamp. So all that right there, that's.
You're on GarageBand. You're not even on Logic.
No, I just because it's on my phone.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
put Logic on it, you know. So I just record now like ideas all the time on my phone, and then I'll take them, I'll bounce them out. I'll put the stems in Pro Tools, and then I'll work off those. Like I'm working at home and I'm doing my thing,
Yeah.
but like now I found this other option, just right
To
on
do
my
anywhere,
phone.
yeah.
What does your voice memo app look like on your phone?
it's
Dude,
chaos.
it's a mess, dude. Look at.
Are you like a riff hummer into the? Like
Yeah,
if you're on the go, if
absolutely.
you just.
All the time.
Jin, 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 jin,
Oh,
jin, jin,
yeah,
jin.
he's scrolling.
You can't see it, but it's miles long.
Scrolling.
Yeah, it goes
scrolling.
forever.
Oh
Holy
my
shit,
God.
we're still going.
Yo,
Lights
Still going.
look at these are notes in Paris. We're in Paris.
We're back to 2020.
You know, then this is my house. This is where I live.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, all over. Look, Atlantic Avenue, so I'm probably walking around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, and then things get lost. So every once in a while, I'll kind of go in here.
Smart.
And I'll listen.
Yeah, you got it.
And,
Of course.
And see if there's something there that's just like surprising. But
That makes total sense. I knew it. I knew the
love
answer wasn't going
chaos.
to be nah. Not
Chaos.
really.
Miles long. What are some simple pleasures in your life that you enjoy? You collect anything?
yeah, I collect synthesizers.
Nice.
I collect gear. I like gear a lot.
You got gas.
I do. Yeah, I like gas.
Gear acquisition syndrome.
Oh, is that what that is?
So let's talk a little gear. We rarely talk about gear. People want it.
Let's talk gear, please.
Okay.
You're
Tell
the
me,
gear guy.
what's your Grail guitar? What do you got that you're just over the moon about?
I think, the guitars that I play on stage, I mean, I don't have anything that's like insane.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a 70s, like Les Paul Telecaster Deluxe that's cool and vintage, but it's not, I got it because, when we were doing Color Before the Sun, that was the guitar I was using for most of that record, and so I found one at like a Carter's Vintage in
Nice.
Nashville, and I bought one. But I don't, very rarely do I buy things like that. I typically like to buy the things that people don't want. Like I'll go on Facebook Marketplace, like this guitar, for example.
Yeah.
I bought this for like $1,000 less than what it typically goes for. It's brand new. It had plastic on it. The guy just didn't like it.
No,
And I
shit.
had nothing with P90s.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get that. And
Now,
I
are you
love
showing
this
up
guitar.
yourself to get this thing?
No,
you sending a proxy?
typically it's on tour.
Oh, okay.
So like
You send a
Ernie, our
letter.
tour manager, will help facilitate. But like I like to buy the things that people don't want, like the misfit things, because I know that there's magic in all the shit that's like getting thrown away.
100%.
The idea, do you find this to be true, the idea of grabbing an instrument that's new to you and being inspired by
Absolutely.
it's a very real thing.
It is absolutely. This guitar, dude, I'm telling you, like it's not a guitar that. I mean, I was like not sure if I should bring it. Like I flew with this thing.
Yeah.
In that gig bag. Like
Wow.
I enjoy playing it. So yeah, it's like it's cool like that. I bought that. I mean, and most of the time I like to collect big muffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got one actually in the bag, like a version 4.
How often do you activate a big muff in the set?
Never. Okay. It's not playing in the. But I have been writing a lot with them now, and so
Cool.
and I'm starting to find the difference between the version
The
3,
germanium
and the
files and stuff.
4s,
Yeah.
and so now I'm, actively like seeking out like of the versions so I can have the different.
Is that your
slightly
favorite
different
pedal
colors.
of all time?
I think it is, yeah. Because the first one I had, I kind of acquired it like in a fucked up way because I was young. I remember, so my music teacher, Bert Hughes, who just passed away, amazing person, he had one in a box in high school. I went into his office because he asked me to get something. I went in there and I was looking for it in the drawers. I was in the high school jazz band, and he had a big muff. And I remember, like, Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. uses the big muff. Like, that's a thing.
Three of them, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, I'm like, and his office was a wreck. So I'm like, I'm gonna take this home. I'm gonna mess with this. Yeah, exactly. And then immediately, and I'll bring it back. I promised I was gonna bring it back. And like, but then I should have just asked him to borrow it, but I didn't. I thought he would probably say no.
Yeah.
So sure enough, he goes into that office and he asks, "Where is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can't. I fucked up."
Yeah.
And then years later, he came to a Coheed show before he passed away, and I told him about it. I was like, "Man, you know, I feel really sorry. I kind of took this thing from you." And he was like, "That was actually a gift for you."
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
And you cherished it so much instinctively that you didn't take it on that tour, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That was the one you bled on?
But yeah, and I actually cloned it for a pedal release that we put out called Deanna.
Wow.
Because for the end, because like I used to use it around the times of like Second Stage, like early, like writing with those songs and stuff like that. And it's the pedal that, like back then, I would always put like an overdrive, like a super overdrive, in front of a big muff.
Before it, yeah.
Yeah, and it just, that's what got me into understanding like signal flow in pedal chains.
Gazina Gazada.
Yeah, right. And and I love that. And so I just cherished that like pairing. And now anytime like Coheed ever needs like unruly feedback, like for example, the song Toys, there's that moment where everything stops and it's like, it's got like that Nirvana-y kind of feedback. It's always that pairing.
Super
overdrive in front of a big muff. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Is there anything you collect or that you're into that is not musical?
Comics. I do collect key moments in comic books.
Yeah, like Amazing Fantasy 15 and
Yeah, I
like
wish
that.
I had that. Yeah. Like my wife and I almost bought one of those, but you know, when we were collecting together, we chose to collect. We, instead of buying a poorly graded American Fantasy or Amazing Fantasy 15, we actually got First Avengers and Tales of Suspense First Iron Man. But
what is key moment? What is that?
I mean, it's like the first time.
Yeah, like Amazing Fantasy 15 is the Spider-Man's first appearance.
Yeah,
That
right.
iconic cover.
So a key moment is a
Yeah, like
ubiquitous term. Like it could be used for anything.
yeah, what was Punisher's first appearance was in a
I got that.
was it a Wolverine
Yeah,
comic
it was a
thing?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. I got, like things like that, like Wolverine's first appearance in Incredible Hulk 181. It's typically Marvel stuff. Like every once in a while I'll find a DC thing that makes sense to me, like the first appearance of the Calendar Man, which is like kind of like a weird, I love the Calendar Man.
What does he do?
He's really not, he's a
troll.
Yeah, he's like a calendar like villain. Like,
He's like the condiment king. He's just silly. You know?
I like him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think he was used really well in a Batman story called The Long Halloween and Dark Victory, right?
Yeah.
In a very like Hannibal Lecter kind of way.
I've read that one.
Which is what the Batman was partially inspired by. That's why it starts on Halloween. It's in year 2.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So comic books.
Yeah, comic books. Sometimes toys. There are toys in the house. Movie posters. You know, like vintage movie posters. I have a few of them, not a ton, like Bill and Ted and Kroll. If you guys
are you both?
I collect Kroll shit.
Cool.
But there's not a whole lot of it, like board games, card games. That's probably about it. My wife just got me like a movie program that you got for my anniversary, but I live in Brooklyn, so when the mailman puts shit on the porch, people steal it.
That's devastating.
And somebody fucking took it.
Oh, that's bullshit,
that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, they chucked it. They were very disappointed when they opened that up.
Bullshit.
All right, let's wind it down. Let's wind it down real low here. This is gonna be tough.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. You can take your time with this. I want to know 4 Coheed riffs that when you finished, you felt like you cracked the Da Vinci Code.
Okay. Well, probably Welcome Home is definitely one of them.
It'd have to be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because the excitement of when I played it. Fucking Gravity's Union as a song, that's actually the song that made me realize Josh should come back into the band. So when I wrote that, I was still living up in the country, and I wake up early, so I was writing it, and the sun was coming up. I lived next to a cornfield at the time, and the sun was coming up, and I was air drumming to this composition that I put together. Like I was and I started crying, and I was playing like ferociously in the air.
Open-handed.
Yeah, open-handed, right?
You realize.
And I was like, man, if he's okay, I am considering this is
Beautiful.
should happen.
Beautiful.
So Gravity's Union.
That is beautiful.
What else? What else would be a big riff?
It's a big revelation. Writing revelation.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
The eureka moment.
There's just so many
You're telling
songs.
me you weren't like, fuck, that's sick.
No. I remember writing Fear Through the Eyes of Madness. I was with my wife, and we were in the Florida Keys. So I remember writing that moment. Okay. So for that, I remember that moment because I was like, this is like, reminds me of Jethro Tull meets Iron Maiden or some like weird ass shit. Like, I was like, if only I could be playing the flute. But remember that. And I think Time Consumer, because it's probably the first one, and I was in Paris, and I bought this Yamaha like while I was out there. This was back when you could actually fly with shit in between your legs. So like when I went home with it, it was like, it was the most uncomfortable 8 hours I think I'd ever experienced on a plane.
8 hours raw dogging too.
Yeah,
nothing.
Dude.
Yeah.
Looking at the back of this headstock thing, like
waiting to play it.
Yeah. But
Did you sneak any riffs in on the flight?
Yeah, no way. Yeah. But yeah,
that's fantastic. And then I also want to know your top 4 non-Coheed line check riffs of all time.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I like that.
That's I don't know many songs. That's the thing.
You're a writer. You're not a
learner.
like
I'm not. I really don't have any. I just like noodle away and
you just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
You write.
Yeah.
You write for sound check.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Not as good.
Crowbar. It's crowbar
I'll
every
hit
time
a crowbar
I play crowbar.
riff, or I'll hit a straight ahead riff or something. But other than that, I have to have written it. Very interesting answer. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes total sense.
And then the last question would be, and hopefully Blaze prepared you for this.
He did.
Good. Could you tell me your top 4 records of all time on the extreme music spectrum, punk, hardcore, death metal, etc.?
Okay. So one would probably have to be Sex Pistols' Nevermind the Bollocks.
Okay.
Come on.
And that even goes into like the collection of the greatest rock and roll swindle, even though that's not like a real record. Like there's shit on there that I can get down with, and I like that movie. But so I think that because it's probably the first punk rock record I had ever listened to because my friend Patrick, who's on the cruise, I wasn't. Punk wouldn't be on my radar if it wasn't for him and probably that record.
Awesome.
You know?
And it was a gateway to many.
Yeah,
many,
and dude, I was listening to it the other day. It was almost, I was in a store in Europe and it was playing, and I had listened to it in the dressing room like nights before, but it still felt like new and exciting to me because at moments it felt cleaner than it's ever in the store. I was like, what the hell is that? I'm not sure what. They didn't have any other records. Yeah. What record is it?
Was it remastered or something?
No, it must have been because it just sounded like
just details
different.
You've never heard.
Yeah. But it's a record that I've been listening to a lot of now, and has also inspired the character of Blindside Sonny.
Fuck yeah.
So, the next would have to be the Misfits collection of Legacy of Brutality, because when we were kids, the first band I was in. The drummer, the drummer's father used to work for a tape manufacturing company, and they would do things for like Caroline Records and whatever have you. So there were all sorts of tapes that we'd pull from and get inspired by, whether it was like the Naked Reagans or like the Gay Bikers on Acid. But Legacy of Brutality is one that I picked simply because I liked the ghoul on the cover, right? And
he gets all of us. He comes for us all eventually.
Yeah. But then we like listened to it, and I think it really kind of taught me songs.
Yeah.
I've listened to tons of music before it, but the simplicity, the melodic, the hooks. It's a hooky band.
It's perfect.
They're the hookiest band.
It is
what they did with what they had is impossible.
Unbelievable.
It's sick. It's sick. And we used to cover She because of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
This was my first band. We were called like Toxic Parents. which Pat was singing it.
Right.
Next would have to be, number 3 would have to be the 2 that I brought up before, Effigy of the Forgotten by Suffocation and Obituaries, Cause of Death.
Mashed together.
Yeah, just like let that be number 3 because those were the 2 records I would sleep with. That was how, that was as extreme metal I think as I had gotten at the time.
That's as extreme as you need to be.
Oh, okay, right on. We just got to see Obituary in Germany. They were playing at the venue across the street.
Wow.
So we got to catch a little bit of them before we went on.
They still got it.
Yeah, it was so sick. Yeah. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And then Travis got a hoodie, and I was jealous because I didn't have my euros on me to get one.
They would have given you one.
They don't know who I am.
That's bullshit. Dude, was the song "The Incomplete" inspired by the
Yes,
album,
absolutely. The title, absolutely, from the album
Awesome.
Incomplete. Yes,
That's what we call HardLore.
That's HardLore.
Oh, and there was one more. Damn it,
Yeah,
I forgot. Where's the one more?
You got it.
I'm gonna just go with Bad Brains Eye Against Eye
Fantastic.
because of my first experience with Doc.
Unbelievable.
Like sitting in a bar with somebody thinking that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe this man is telling me this. Who is this person? And then, being in Woodstock, New York, I'm not gonna think like.
Oh, that was in Woodstock.
Woodstock, New
I did
York,
not
yeah.
thought that was in the city. Wow.
Yeah, no,
What
Woodstock,
are the
New York.
odds?
I know, right? Because he lives up there, and I think so does Daryl.
Wow.
Daryl lives up there, and I was just like, oh, wow, I am actually sitting next to a legend.
Yeah.
And then to be able to like have him be on the opening song of our debut record is like, pretty incredible.
And the only guest ever on a Coheed record.
Yeah.
It ties right in,
It's unbelievable. Claudio, thank you so much for
Dude,
joining
thanks,
us.
guys. This was
Thank
cool,
you
man.
so
I hope I didn't bore the
much.
hell out of you
No,
guys.
you killed it. It wasn't that unbelievable. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Father of Make Believe is out now. The Cruise will be back in 2027 if he's willing and he's ready. No Wolf for Tomorrow, unbelievable. Insane. They're playing Star Wars music now.
Yeah,
This
perfect timing.
is insane. It's poetic. It's beautiful. It's HardLore. Thank you. Bye. This episode is brought to you by Mad Vintage.